So next is A View to Kill. So let's go to that. Happy 40th anniversary View to Kill. Of course, directed by John Glenn. Of course, written by Michael G. Wilson, Richard Bond. Of course, stars Roger Moore, Christopher Walken, Mayday, uh, Grace, right? Or Grace something. Oh my God. Kelly Grace, or please correct me, who was that woman? Kelly Grace, or and of course next is Tanya Roberts. Okay, View to Kill. I recently saw this for the first time. View to Kill. I seen bits of it in the internet. View to Kill. This is the last entry. The I think 17th Bond film, or no, this is the 16th Bond film, in the Eon Productions, and this is the last for Roger Moore to star in this film. And I just like to report that it's not a bad film. It's not the best of the Roger Moore films, but it's not the worst. I think it's a very average Bond film that has really spectacular effects and stunt work by the usual crew. I think John Glenn does a good job of directing this, but the story is where it really fails for this film. This movie has two plots that just doesn't match. I think there's one plot that I think they got more attention with than the other. First, though, you got this plot about the horse being there that they're like kind of drugging it. That's very interesting. Something that's is relatable, but the major like crunches of the plot that it's what they were kind of like structuring with was the Signal Valley, the computer chip, um, the technology that was going on during the 80s. Let me just give the synopsis here. James Bond has a retrieves a microchip after a dead Neo agent recovers it from previous mission and goes and investigates it and discovers a serious plan, a sinister conspiracy plot against Valley by a big evil business tycoon, of course played by Christopher Walken as Max Zorin. Now, as you hear that, it's very interesting. He's covering this and then, the macro trip and all that. That's interesting. But the film is divided by two plots. When you get the horse thing, I think that's the best part of the film because you got Bond investigating as a spy. He's teamed up with another agent that's played by the Avengers actor, which is cool. The British TV show, not the, the Avengers comic book, but the British TV show from there. He plays alongside Roger Moore, and those two are so spectacular. That's the best part about View 2 is that first half of them investigating the Soren and the horse race. That was like really intriguing. But then when they move into more of the Seneca Valley part, where we discovered that Max Soren is trying to flood, this was very surprising. Not only I did a live stream review of this, and it was funny. Me and my the guest hosts, panelists, Matt and Tim from the Middleman Age Reviews. He brought up that not only this felt like a Batman 60 episode, but funny enough, the plot also got borrowed by Superman, the 78th film. And it's true because the villain plot is like he's using California Falls and like he's gonna flood the whole Silicon Valley and so that he can, take it over and like, you know, expand his empire of microchips. Okay, very interesting. But I was kind of surprised we went there and I find it, okay, but we just don't spend enough time with it. And what really dampers it is sometimes when you got Bond Girl, which I get into in The World Is Enough later on, you get, Teddy Roberts' character, uh, you know, who is a very weak Bond girl. I mean, she's lovely, very, sadly passed away. She's a fantastic actress. I mean, she's great in That 70s Show as, Donna's mom. But her as a Bond girl just didn't work. I think there was some potential for her character, but she just is a very dense stress, but like she constantly screams James all the time. That's the big meme from this movie is that James, James, James. And I don't think that's pleasant enough um to, for a Bond girl to be like that. So that's the big problem for this film is the whole Seneca Valley is underdeveloped and the Bond girl is just not as strong as the previous ones we got in the Bond series in general. But the villains are much step up from Octavius, I had to say. I think getting Christopher Walken as Max Zorin is a big get and is a big pleasant surprise. I'd say that he is the best part about View 2 Kill. I think the best thing about Roger Moore's last enemy is that his villain that he faced is much better, and like it's played by a very iconic actor that's Christopher Walken. He does a really good job. He's very menacing, very funny in a dark comedic way, which is great. And him with Mayday, the character played by Grace, um, is fantastic, and they have chemistry, and he has good chemistry with Roger Moore. I think that part was the most successful thing. Um, really wish Roger Moore. Roger Moore is top form, but you could definitely tell they were hiding his age this time, which is kind of annoying. I think the mistake of this film did was not embracing his old age like his last two previous films. For Your Eyes Only and Octopussy, and I think they tried too hard to like keep up the the Bond how you say it, the persona and like him with the ladies, which is kind of like why. I think that was a big mistake. But overall, it's a mixed bag as a finale for Roger Moore's last outing. It's not the worst. I think it's definitely average outing of the Bond film because it's just like another routine for the Eon Productions to make another Bond film, which is a shame because they should have known that this is Roger Moore's last outing as Bond, and I think they should have done a better job of delivering a better product for him. And how to rate this? I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. It's a decent film, but it's not as strong as some of Roger Moore's outing or any of the strong tier ones from the Bond series in general. But it's not as bad as like Die Another Day or Diamonds Are Forever. I will watch this over those two films, and I gladly would say Roger Moore is still Bond, and he's still great in the role in this New Yorker film. So thank everyone for joining the View to Kill 40th anniversary.